Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you simple but effective ways of maintaining a stress-free financial life. If you haven't already, I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel. And now let's get into today's video. All right, well hello everyone and happy Friday. I hope this day finds you marked safe from being bamboozled by Starbucks into buying that ridiculous bear cup. The unbelievable chaos that a limited edition item causes the people in this country is absolutely bonkers to me. I saw like women were fighting over these things and I just was cracking up. I was like, if you're willing to scuffle over a 20-ounce glass bear tumbler, like I really need you to step back and evaluate your life, just a scotch. By the way, I did see that you can get an unbranded version of that cup on Amazon, which I think is hilarious, but or at least the last I checked, they were still available on Amazon. So I'll leave it linked below for you if you're interested. And it is not something that you're going to have to pay $300 for on eBay. And I even saw, you guys are going to have to let me know if you even know what I'm talking about. Obviously, like that's the caveat for this conversation here. But if you know what I'm talking about and you've looked to see if they're for sale on like the secondary market, I want to know the most ridiculous price that you saw. I saw a woman with the audacity to list one for sale on Poshmark for $10,000. I'm not even joking. $10,000. The one that I did see that was ridiculously overpriced, but is going to be purchased. I was scrolling eBay to look at them. I was not looking, by the way, to buy one. I was looking because I knew that they were going to be available in the secondary market, and I was in a conversation with somebody about it, and I was like, let me see what price they're going for now. And the last I checked with this one that I was like watching for a little bit, I saw that there were like 23 bids or something, and it had gotten up over $250 on eBay. So people are really crazy enough to do this, which is insane to me. Anyways, don't even, like, Starbucks coffee isn't good. Like, go to an actual, like, I mean, I'm saying this as a person who purchases Starbucks every now and then, but it's like, it's sort of like my kids can get something there, I can get something there, Mr. Simple can get something there. But whenever we go on a coffee date, we actually go to like a coffee house that knows how to make coffee well. Not the like fly-by-night baristas who are barely trained in how to make a drink. It's not their fault. It's Starbucks like fault. But yeah, anyways, I digress. This conversation, I mean, the whole thing was just hilarious to me. I was like, oh, this is going to be like, well, this will age me. This is going to be like the Tickle Me Elmo craze all over again. And if you remember Tickle Me Elmo, you and I, we're the same person, we're the same age, and we need to focus on night cream. So anyways, moving right along. Today's video, if you are new to my channel, is the weekly check-in. And this is the video that I always say is the bread and butter of budgeting, because it doesn't matter how good your plan is. If you don't hold your spending accountable and track your expenses, you're not really kind of following through all the way on the plan. So this is where we hold our spending accountable for the last week. We go over the purchases. We have a little chit chat. These are usually my longer videos. And we return the money to the bank, because the whole purpose of this is in our house, about 50% of our budget stays in our checking account. We don't cash stuff those categories, but the other 50% are in these envelopes. And so if I ever spend online or with my debit card from these categories that I have cash stuffed over here, I have to take that money out and return it to the bank. Otherwise, you're overdrawing your account because the money isn't in there. So that's what we do. And by the way, I know I usually have a candle lit, but my zinnias this year in my garden were so beautiful, and they're still going because we're still in like the 60s, 70s, 80s here in Texas. And they've just never been happier than they have been this year. And I know we're coming to the end of the season. And so I was like, let me clip some of these beauties. I mean, this little bud vase, I actually got this from the dollar spot at Target. Isn't she so cute? A little pair. It only holds like 2 or 3, but I just loved them so much. I was like, let me cut them and put them in screen today for the people because they're just too pretty. And if you're wondering, this variety is one that I bought from a flower farm, I guess is the way you would refer to her. I don't think I've ever talked about her on my channel before, but she grows the most beautiful and like breeds the most beautiful varieties of like zinnias and dahlias and things like that. So if you want like a lovely cut flower garden for your yard, she's always a fun resource. And I love to support a small business rather than some like big seed corporation or whatever. I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, but she's called Floret Farm. She is also on Instagram if you wanted to check her out there. I'm sure she's probably on TikTok. I don't know because I'm not on TikTok. But I have been following her. I have a couple of her books. I just really, really love her. She's very educational, and the varieties of things that she grows and sells are just absolutely lovely. And so I got these from her, the seeds from her a few years ago, but I let them die off in my garden. So they kind of reseed for the next year as well. And, I've been using the same seed packet of hers that I bought, a couple years ago, and they're still like, oh my gosh, what's the word? You plant it and then I swear my English this week has been just so pitiful, but there's a word for it. You plant it and then it grows. But like, oh my gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Hun, babe, come here. What is it called when you plant a seed and then it does the thing? Germinates. It germinates. It was right on the tip of my tongue, and I really needed Mr. Simple to help me with that one. So that's what it's called. They're still germinating. So I'm very, very happy with them. Her varieties of flowers are so beautiful. If you want a lovely cut flower garden, well, so that happened. Hopefully that is the last of the wonky vehicles. This has also been the wonky vehicle week. Anyways, they're still germinating. So if you wanted to support a small flower farm instead of buying less pretty flowers from a big seed corporation, you could support her business. I will also leave her linked below. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and grab my budget planner here. I actually have it tucked off to the side, and I have been getting some questions about it. It is going to be listed very soon in my Etsy shop. And by the way, in case you didn't know, I also, in my budget planner, I always include these sections as well. So I have a savings tracking section, and then I have, I don't actually have it in here. You know why? Because I didn't include it. I have a savings, I have a debt, and then I have these I have an annuals section as well. And that is all included if you buy the entire downloadable version, as well as my Christmas planner, my Christmas budget planner, which I think is so pretty, and I worked really hard on. Those things will all be getting tweaked as well, some more than others, but those will be available as well. But everything is going to be available in either A5 or US letter. So you'll have both options. If you have a home printer and you're not really sure how to print A5, that's why I'm doing the US letter. And it's easier to have a US letter size document printed at like a Staples or something like that as well. So it's the most universally accessible in terms of being able to print it, which is why I'm including it in as an option with the budget planner. So you'll get all of it. You get all 4 quarters of the year, you get the savings tracking, the debt tracker, and the annuals tracker, as well as the Christmas budget planner. So it's a really good value for money in terms of like having it printed by somebody, because you get an entire budget planner with that. So anyways, let me just pop in here. So I'm actually going into October because the purchases that we're going to be going over today are from October and not November. We're like closing out the November budget. As you can probably see, we've got quite a few expenses to go over today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these sheets out, and then I'll zoom you guys in so that you can kind of see everything just a little bit better. And then we'll actually get into the tracking and then stuffing. I don't know why I said I was zooming you guys in and doing this. This is not how we do it now. I like forgot. What I do, I used to go through every single purchase with you guys, and then we would unstuff the cash. And I have found that it works much, those were like 45-minute videos. And I found that it's much quicker if we just kind of go down and discuss the purchases as we unstuff. So that's what we're doing here today, not the other way that I was having it. And also, you know what, it makes it nice because then you can see the pretty little flowers in the video the whole time too. So this is really a win-win for everyone. We did have a few like Christmas purchases, and we had a few just like kind of fun things that I get to chat with you guys about for a little while. So I'm kind of excited about that one. But let's just get into it. I always start with high priority and then I work my way down through the envelopes. So what I do is I just find the first high priority category and then work from there on the way down. And I'm realizing that I don't have my calculator sitting next to me, and we all know I need a calculator. I can't math in my head to save my life. I got my calculator. My goodness, I'm just all over the place, you guys. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we have? I thought I saw, I think I have haircuts, and oh no, you know what? Haircuts is in low priority, I think. We're gonna find out together how I have my own envelope set up. Oh, okay, do you know what? So we have a grocery purchase, and I actually have to return all the grocery money that I stuffed because I got to my stuffing so late that I had already done my grocery shopping. And so what we do is we just return it to the bank. And I do repurpose this cash for the next week's stuffing. I will not be likely showing you guys how I do that in this video, but I do have some of my other weekly check-ins where I show you how I repurpose the cash if they're a little bit shorter. That's usually a pretty good indicator that that's a video that I have shown how I repurpose the cash. But when it's going to be a lengthy video like this one probably will be, I don't do that because you have places to be, I have places to be. We don't have time to, turn this into an hour-long video like my budget with me the other day. So anyways, so I am going to just go ahead and cross off the grocery purchase. I think I had one like listed here. But yeah, I'm just returning all the grocery money. Like I said, we've been able to maintain staying under budget, which has been so lovely. I'm like so pleased with that. Okay, and then actually in here, believe it or not, the union dues finally hit. This is an annual expense that we save up for, and we just stuff like a little bit every month toward it to make sure that we have it waiting there for us when it hits. This is related to my husband's job. So it was $178, and I think we have a little, so 120, 40, 60, 70, 80. I don't have change yet. Let me come back to this one when I have some change so I can bring some change back into the envelope. Let's move and see what other, do I have any other? Oh, good, I do. Household and toiletries, just one of each it looks like. So $9 from household from Amazon, and I am struggling to remember what that was. Nope, can't remember. Toiletries, also can't remember. What did I buy? If they were on Amazon, it was probably something super unfun, like toothpaste and like cleaning products, but I digress. So $9 from household, which will give us the change we need. And this, by the way, is why I stuff dollar bills, because then you have change in your, you can make change more easily. Wow, I lost all my brain cells there. And I also realized that I forgot to pull out my bank return tracker, which I need to do so that I can notate what I have actually returned to the bank, because that's also important in terms of tracking. So I've unstuffed the 9, and I have 20, 35, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 remaining in household. So let me just make a note of that. So I have 50 left. I unstuffed 9 household, and I don't remember the date as per usual. Hon, what's today's date? Hey, the 7th? I think that's what he said. Anyways. Oh, the 12th? Oh, you're being ornery. What is the date? All right, well, we're just gonna keep it as the 7th since he's being difficult. Okay, so we're gonna cross that off, and then that $13 expense from toiletries. Also, I know I will have the change for, so 10, 1, 2, 3. And then in toiletries, I've got 25, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. There we go. Whoops. Let me just do this first so that I don't forget my numbers, because y'all know I love to forget. So toiletries. And I'm gonna put a little check mark there. By the way, this is a Sharpie S gel pen, I guess, because you guys remember I had those like cute little like soft touch muted tone pens that I got from Target that were absolute poo. They did not work. They were like skipping all the time. And I'm so happy with this pen. So if you're in the market for like just a normal pen around the house, I mean, I know she's fancy, but they also make like less fancy ones, but I love a good copper minute moment in time. And so that's why I picked her up. So anyways, moving along here, we also have a home maintenance expense that I think is the only home maintenance. Yeah, because I would have come across it up here if it was something else. So let me see. Yeah, so just that one $15 expense. So let me grab that really quickly from home maintenance. $15. Here, let me see. I'll just do this and bring back a 5. All right, so remaining in home maintenance, we've got 100, 20, 45, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 159 in home maintenance. Okay. 159, and I returned 15. Home maintenance. There we go. All right, so I'll put a little check mark there. I don't know why I didn't put down what I actually have to return to the bank over here. That was silly. 9. Okay. Oh, and then I can go back into the union dues and grab the 178 from there. So 1, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80. So I'll put this over here and bring $2 back. Oops. 1 and 2. So there's $7 to take us over to next year. So union dues. 7 is left. I unstuffed 178, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a check mark next to that. And then that is gonna do it for us for high priority sinking fund. So I'm just gonna close this back up and move it over here. Let me see. All right, there we go. Okay, So let's check first up what we have. Okay, so we have Family Fun. I think there's more than one. Yeah, so what we did, we had plans to go and get pumpkins from this like pumpkin patch thing, and then I looked and saw that they were like out of pumpkins for the season. So we like pulled an audible and took the kids to Trader Joe's and had them pick out pumpkins from there and bought them like, you know, like sweets, and I got like some mums and stuff too. And so we decided to empty the rest of our Halloween fund and then put the rest of it onto Family Fun. So I'm pulling $52 from Family Fun for that, and then $4 from Family Fun. We rented, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Knives Out series. Daniel Craig plays this. It's like sort of kitschy, like the Clue movie from the 80s. And Daniel Craig plays like a kind of quirky, funny investigator, like detective. And there's like a murder that he's trying to solve, and it's like basically all a movie about investigating like these murders or whatever. So they're getting ready to release the third one, I think, in December. And so the first one I think we watched for free, and the second one we rented. And so that's what this purchase was. And I cannot even begin to tell you how like funny they are. They have some language, and there's like some, I feel like the second one was like slightly more or slightly less family friendly than the first one was, but I still think that they're like fun, quirky, kitschy mystery movies. So, you know, I know we're like out of spooky season and full on into Mariah Carey season, but like it might be worth it to watch them just because they're so funny. So anyways, so that's what that was. And then I think those are the only family purchases. So it's $56 that I have to empty from Family Fun. Oops. So 20, 40. Actually, let me take some of the, 20, 40, 60, and I'll just take $4 back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, I'm gonna need ones again. Okay, so that leaves us with 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, and $44 in Family Fun. $44, I unstuffed 56, and that was Family Fun. All right, and then let me just cross off those purchases. And then next up, I have to tell you guys, I'm a little disappointed. So since we're in the hers category now, one of my favorite perfumes of all time, if I were to call myself like a signature scent kind of person, it would be Riddle Oil Original. I love that thing. And I actually love just about all of the scents from Riddle Oil. I will leave them linked below if you've never heard of them before. A friend of mine did not like the original scent. She got it in like one of those beauty boxes years ago. I'm talking like 7, 8 years ago. She wasn't crazy about it. She asked me if I liked it. I loved it. It's like kind of powdery, musky. It's like really, I can't even describe it. It's just such a good scent. And Riddle Oil makes this little pack of samples. So if you wanted to try all of their scents to determine which one you like, that's a good way to go. And I have never been complimented before with any scent in the same way that I am complimented when I wear Original. It just goes really well with my body chemistry. The other one that I really, really like that I've been complimented on a lot is Missing Person by Fleur. I love that one. I'm actually asking for like the full size for Christmas. But anyways, that's beside the point. They released a new scent called Kismet. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to try that, because they were running a special where any purchase that you made on their website, you would get a sample size of Kismet for free. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to buy the Kismet sample, and then I'll get the Kismet sample for free. So I got 2 sample sizes of Kismet for $17. And I was so disappointed in the scent. Now, this does not mean that it's not for you. it's just not for me. They make another scent called X. They claim to be like unisex, and actually Kismet is probably one of their most unisex scents. But they make a scent called X, and I cannot stand it on myself, but I love it on Mr. Simple. So that just goes to show you, like, body chemistry changes the scent, and also just different things smell differently on different people. But this one was not for me. Like, I am not enjoying the smell of this scent at all. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it or see if, like, I don't know, like my sister or my mom wants it, but I was just a little disappointed because you hate to spend money on something that's not going to work out. But also it's like I got 2 samples for the price of 1. So you can't really be whining about it. But they always release one. I will say this to you. They release one in the summertime called Nude Beach. That is my absolute, like, I love it so much. I literally just walk around smelling like that all summer because it is my summer scent. I use it over Original. And like they have other ones that are really good. Muse is really floral and delicious. Sphinx is incredible. It's really musky and rich. So like I'm a big fan of Riddle Oil. I was just so disappointed to have not loved this one. But give them a look-see because I think they're the most long-wearing scents that I have ever tried in my life. They stay on your skin really well. I just love them. So anyways, that aside, so I spent money on that. I'm trying to see. I know I have some other things. I have some Gap purchases here. I think I mentioned in like yesterday's cash stuffing that I purchased some like basics for myself from Gap that I was really loving that are sort of like Skims adjacent because I refuse to spend Skims money on basics. I mean, that's just my personal choice, you know, you do you, etc. And then some other, let's see, I think I have another one over here. Yeah, just more, it was like a series of different purchases, like trying on different basics and returning some and whatever. And then I went to Target and I got I got a mug. But listen, okay, I'm allowed. It's my money. And it's so pretty. It was from the Chip and Joanna section at Target, and it's this like beautiful deep green color that just has like an embossed Christmas tree in it. But the handle's really cute. Like it sits up higher on the mug. I just love it. Anyways, so I did go a little like spend crazy this past week, but all things that I enjoy. And I currently have some Poshmark money like sitting in our checking account. Also, like I haven't stuffed it yet because I knew that some of these purchases were going to come through. So I'm just going to add this stuff up really quickly. So we've got 17, 10, 50, 18, and 9. And that is 104. I don't think I have 104 in here, but I know that I have 104 between this and what I have in our checking account still. So let's do 20, 40, 60, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 94, 99. Hold on. Because this is my spending money, which goes towards the purchase of the mug. And then the rest of it is just like on my basics clothing that I was replenishing. Let me just double check this. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So 99. Yeah, so I'm $5 short, but I have more than that from Poshmark sitting in our checking account. So I'm not actually short. I just look like I'm short. But I will make a note of that so that I don't stuff that Poshmark money in its entirety in my next cash stuffing, if that makes sense. Okay, so I did, let's go hers. I unstuffed all 15. There's nothing left, which means that I unstuffed. See, I knew I was going to need this other sheet. 84 from my Save Y'all Money Ho category. Okay, let me just, oops. 11, 7. Okay. And then I will make a note in my next cash stuffing, which I do off screen here, just so I don't stuff that, I don't stuff that money in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, and let me just cross off all of those purchases as well so that I don't miss anything. There we go. Okay. All right. So let me check and just make sure I don't have any other lingering. Oh, haircuts. Okay. I have to pop into haircuts and return $63 from there. No. Haircuts. There we go. 63, 20, 40, 60. Oh no. 70. So I need to get, oops, 20, 40, 60, 70. I need to get $7 back. 5, 6, 7. And that leaves us with 20, 40, 60, 85, 86, and 87 in haircuts. Nope, 87. I unstuffed 63. Alrighty. And I will cross that off as well. That was for my husband's haircut, by the way, in case you were wondering. Okay, let's see what other low priority we have. Halloween is holiday, Christmas is holiday, Christmas. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for low priority sinking funds then. And we can move right into holiday because we have to unstuff the remaining Halloween money and then unstuff some Christmas money. So let's pop back to Halloween and I'm just gonna take the remaining cash out of there. I think it's like $6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, well, that gives us ones too, so that's nice. All right, Halloween. I unstuffed 6 and I am left with 0. Okay. Let me cross that off. Now I have to add up all of the Christmas things. So actually, let me see. What did I get from Amazon for Christmas? $44. Oh, do you know what it was? I ordered these garlands. So I have a mantle. I don't actually have a fireplace, but I have an antique mantle. I don't know if it can be considered, I think it's antique. I don't know what the distinction is between vintage and antique. Like I know that there are like time periods, but I think this is considered an antique because it came from a house that was built in the 1800s or the 1700s. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that an antique. It's not vintage. Vintage is like within the last 50 years. This is like hundreds of years old. And it was, actually, I'm going to tell you, it'll be like a fun little story time. So this mantle that I have came from what I always called my lottery house in my home state of Delaware. And it was in the lower part of the northern county in a town called Middletown. And it was this old, big brick farmhouse. And I was in love with this house. And Middletown in like, 70s, 80s, 90s was super rural. It was far away from where everything was, like in the northern county. Nobody wanted to live there. But then as, the population grew and people migrated south, Middletown really blew up. And whoever owned this home and property sold it to a developer. And that property is now like a car wash or something. It's just so sad. So my friend was able to gain access to the home before they tore it down and get all of the like really lovely pieces out of there that were kind of significant. So like the corbels, the mantles, because multiple fireplaces, of course, in an old brick farmhouse on the East Coast. And she just got so many lovely pieces from this home. So she refinished them. I mean, not refinished, but like kind of refinished, just breathe some new life into them because they needed a little bit of help. And I bought one of them from her, and it is like one of my favorite purchases of all time. I love it. It's in my living room, and I love decorating her at Christmas time. And so I wanted to get some new garlands. Some of the garland that I have is fine, and I probably will incorporate it in with these new garland pieces that I picked up from Amazon. I just wanted something to make it look really full and lovely and kind of theatrical. I love, and I'll go ahead and put some pictures up on the screen for you of like different decorated mantles that are just absolutely beautiful to me personally. I like that sort of wild, full, natural chaos almost look of a mantle. And so I picked up I think there's 2 of these like 9-foot faux, oh my gosh, I just lost all of the words. Garlands, pine sort of adjacent garlands from Amazon. So I'll leave them linked below for you if you're interested in them as well. I got them for a really good price. Like they were on sale when I bought them. And I want to see like how I can incorporate them into the garland that I already have and like maybe make something very similar to those garlands that I always admire on Pinterest especially. So anyways, so that's what I picked up. And so that's what this comes from Christmas. We do have like a small like miscellaneous budget in our Christmas budget to cover stuff like this. We try not to spend into it too much, but it happens sometimes. And then this was a funny one because I mentioned to Mr. Simple, by the way, speaking of Skims, Gap makes a really good, what I think is a Skims dupe in terms of like, they're like really comfortable cotton, like a stretchy cotton pajama that is not Skims expensive if you get it on sale. I mean, you have to get it on sale. And I have one pair already in this beautiful like sagey green color. And so I looked and I saw, and they had this like really beautiful dusky blue color. And so I sent it to Mr. Simple and I was like, if you are wanting to buy me something for Christmas. And then because I was getting all of this other stuff from the Gap, I accidentally opened it and saw that he bought it. So anyways, so that's what this was. I know that it's mine. And it was $57 for the top and bottoms both. And I know that that's still pricey, but it's half of, and admittedly, this was the on sale price, but it's still, I mean, Gap is always running sales. I think they have a sale going right now. And so I'll link them below for you if you're interested in buying these pajamas. They're so comfy. They're so soft. They're really lightweight and very breathable. So you don't feel like you're being weighed down. Like I'm not a flannel person. I mean, I love wearing them around the house, but I don't like wearing them to bed. To me, they're like, it's like suffocating. They're so hot. So this is like a really lovely alternative, and they're really like sort of floaty. I really love them. Anyways, I could go on and on about these jammies, but that's what that was. And then I can't tell you because he's just a room away, but I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, which by the way made me so happy. And I found the perfect gift for Mr. Simple. It was like, I just couldn't believe that this was like a thing that is made. So I was really excited about that. So I picked it up for him. It was $45. And then I also picked up some cute little like stocking stuffer pens for my kids from there as well. $8 each, which is so stupid and ridiculous, but I love a good, cute little stocking stuffer, and like they'll use a pen. And neither of my kids is like, we don't like characters or whatever. And then my daughter, I have to tell you guys, so I'm so sad. So she, I feel like she's sort of at the end of like her doll playing, Barbie playing years. And so she wanted the Barbie camper. And so I got it from Target because they were having the 25% off of your one toy or get or book purchase or something. And actually, this is why check your receipts, kids, because they charged me the full price for it. But then because I was like, wait, that total didn't sound right. And I looked at my receipt and I realized that I didn't get the 25% off. So then I went back to the register, or to not the register, the customer service people. And I showed them my receipt and I explained what happened. And then he refunded the money back to my debit card. So check your receipts, thing number one. And thing number two, I think that sale is still going on. Like, you can download it in your Target app or whatever for 25% off of one toy or gift. And this to me was a good one to use it on because it's so pricey, because it was like 110 or something like that. So anyways, those are all of the Christmas purchases that we made. So let me go ahead and add that up really quickly, and then I'll know what to unstuff from Christmas. So we have 109, 8, 8. And then 44, 57, and 45. So 271 to unstuff from Christmas. So let's see what we have here. So 51, 50, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. So 180. Now, this does not mean that I overspent from Christmas. This is just what we have in the envelope here. This is not reflective of the total of our Christmas budget. So, yeah, we'll just subtract it from what we have, or maybe I just won't stuff it for the rest of the month or something like that. Like, we'll figure that out. So hold on, let me do that again. 51, 50, 170, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and 180. Okay, so I'm shy 91 bucks. So I will make a note of that. Oh, hold on. What I need to do, 180. I have nothing left Christmas. Okay, and then all right. So those are all the things that we had to unstuff from the day. Oh, you know what? Let me just make that note really quick. And Christmas for November. All right. So now what we do is add up the amounts that we unstuffed and make sure that it matches what we have over here. So we've got 84, 63, 6, and 180. And then on the front of the page, starting, oh, no, that was the wrong one. Here we go. Yeah, starting with today, we had 9, 13, 15, 178, 56, and 15. And then I just also realized I unstuffed groceries, which was 500. That would have been a real disaster to be like, why do I have 500 extra dollars? And it says I should have. So over here, I should have $1,119. So let's see. I need to make a note of grocery too, so I don't forget. Actually, you know what? We're gonna just do that now so that I don't mess it up. So that when I'm telling all of this to Mr. Simple, he's like, why are we off by $500? And then he's not mad that I forgot. I mean, he doesn't get mad, but. All right, here we go. Let's give her a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 55, 56, 50, 70, 90, 6, 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 90, 7, 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 8, 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95, 1,000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I just realized I should have 1119 and not 1,019. So I'm going to count this again. I'll probably speed you through it so that you don't have to suffer through me counting. $1,119. We did it. And I know that I'm not going to have a cash stuffing next week that actually meets $1,119. So I'll actually be returning some of this cash to the bank less whatever we need to cash stuff for Monday. But that's gonna do it. That's it. I know this video is probably long, but we got a little bit of chatting in there and a little bit of fun Christmas purchase talk. But we managed to get through the video. So that's gonna do it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, I would love it so much if you gave me a thumbs up and left me a comment down below. Let me know, have you started your Christmas shopping yet, or your holiday shopping? If you're like a Hanukkah, I know they still do gifts for kiddos, I think. And I really don't know anything about Kwanzaa. Do you guys do gifts for Kwanzaa too? Or Festivus for the rest of us? Either way, let us know if you've started your holiday shopping. I always like to hear about that kind of stuff. It's always so fun to me. And then if you have older kiddos, you have to let me know what you guys do for gifts for them, because older kids are so much harder to shop for than my littles when they were little. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back here with you again on Monday with the second cash stuffing of November. So stay tuned for that one, and I will see you guys then, okay? Bye, everyone.